We are aware of tons of the pending cases, and the statistics say that, on an average, there is one judge for 73,000 people in India, and over 2 crore matters are still pending. But it is also very pertinent to know that under the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Bhai Modi, 84,000 cases were discoursed in the year of 2017. May I hear a huge round of applause for our Honorable Prime Minister. Yaha Esha Sapteshu Jagrati, the person who is awake, is those that sleep, is the person who is desirous of a change. And I believe that I am that person. I, Devanshi Jain, from Karnavati University, is pleased to share this platform with the dignitaries on and off the dais, and I wholeheartedly extend my gratitude to welcome and to present to each and everyone who is present here. The judiciary is meant to guarantee the protection to the citizen at every instinct, whereas, in practice, the judicial system is like the rabbit in The Rabbit and the Story. In the story, the rabbit and the turtle. Although it has time-bound references to dispose the cases in specific time, they are being delayed. Being a law student, I am convinced that monitoring is usually required against the bulk of the pendency of the cases. But when we have problems like multiple appeals, reiterating the question of law and judgment, the admission of an appeal should allow only those matters that reflects the question of law. The matters that affects the question of judgments should be confirmed at the initial screening and be disposed of immediately. The law specifies the principle of stare decisis, where it indicates and dictates it is best to adhere to the decisions that have already been made and not to disturb the questions which have been put to rest. Also, one of the reasons behind multiple appeals is the mere dissatisfaction of the appellant, who out of his human behavior keeps on questioning the legal proceedings. In cases where civil and or corporate and or criminal proceedings are not what the matter is brought to the court, but is mainly due to human tendencies like jealousy, hatredness, or ego clashes, mediation and arbitration should be suggested or opted for. It was also brought to the notice that reasons behind such dismissal before the appropriate judicial proceedings are failed processing requirements from the people's side, statute of limitation from the law side, and the politics that is prevalent at several bar associations from the lawyer's side. Not to forget, lack of infrastructure is an obvious drawback, but we as responsible citizens have real problems to deal with. Despite lack of infrastructure, have we peeped into reservations? Have we looked into the problem of vacancies across the judicial system? Have we questioned the impotency to deliver the judgments on timely basis? Well, here I am not counting on the bribery, which is existential and maybe perpetual, but is only in the speeches of the politicians. Why is it only in the speeches of the politicians? Despite criticizing the government or our lawyers, do we have the mirrors with us? Although every palpable thing that the government is inefficient at, are we responsible enough for making to the courts as evidences? Ain't we lacking support to our own people? Why are we minding our businesses so adamantly? Let me also remind you about the backlogging of the cases. Only those cases are read and delivered, judgments of which our honorable judges make a note of. The rest are adjourned and never looked at. This is not only backlogs, which not only creates a time gap, but is ultimately reflected in the inefficiency, which indeed is a vicious cycle and an ultimate paradox. I am not accounting the frequent transfer of the government officials that happen on year-to-year basis. Here, I also do not question the law or the people, but I fear them. The reason that delays is the process. In spite having existing legal mechanism, is the government formulating the new ones? Or is it formulating nuance? Can the government have a broader perspective to Swachh Bharat Abhiyan in collaboration with the judicial system? At the end, as I conclude, I would like to say that justice delayed is never justice denied. It is just a mere default in our judicial system. और अंत में जाते जाते अपने राष्ट्र के लिए एक गूंज हो जाए, भारत माता की जय जय, गर्वी गुजरात, नमस्कार.